Sicario is the Spanish word for hitman, a fitting title for the movie as it gives a realistic look inside the world of Mexican drug cartels and their ruthless violence that comes along with it. At the center of the plot, we find Emily Blunt's character, FBI agent Kate Mercer, who joins a government task force that operates at the border. Don't expect this to be your typical action flick with a female heroine, though. From beginning right through to the end, she's in over her head and can't get a grip on the escalating situation. The story really is about a revenge plan executed by two other agents, played by Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro. We learn how it unravels through the eyes of Kate, though she's kept in the dark most of the time.
I always thought this character, even though she's got a steely edge and a steely exterior and she can handle herself quite competently, tactically, you know, I think that she is very vulnerable, actually. You know, it's like she's a girl who has so many moralistic ideals and she's thrown into this incoherent world, and it really gets the shit kicked out of her for most of the film, you know. So I always saw her as being quite a human character and quite a real perspective for the audience, you know.
When researching the character, Emily Blunt talked with some real female FBI agents. She described them as shy and people with loner qualities, which she incorporated into her on-screen persona. These traits also apply to her male colleagues. Especially Del Toro's character doesn't say much. In the original screenplay, he explained his entire background and motives, but during shooting it all felt awkward, so they ended up losing about 90% of his lines.
It's a visceral movie, and it just like, I don't miss any of the dialogue that was taken out. Don't tell the writer that.
In such a movie, you need people that will be able to embody their character with a lot of silence, that are able to say things with very few dialogues. You know, you need to feel the depth of the character without having them. It's not a very talkative screenplay. Yeah.
Besides the lack of dialogue, Sicario also stands out due to its beautiful scenery. In fact, cinematographer Roger Deakins was Oscar nominated for his work on the picture. Another great thing about the film is that it raises a lot of questions regarding the war on drugs without force-feeding them to the audience. Instead, you're watching a tense thriller that makes you think about the subject afterward.
It can be overwhelming at times, you know. What do you do? Do you think this is the solution? Well, when you look at what, you know, Nixon brought up in the 70s in the war on drugs, which was actually a good plan, but now we've spent $1 trillion and it's had no impact whatsoever, it's easy to lose hope, but at the same time, you still are banging away. We've created this hypothetical of people who covertly go in there illegally, which I know absolutely happens. And it does have an effect, and maybe even a positive effect, but does it have a long-term effect? It raises those questions, and I don't know if there's any answers to any of those questions. I do know it's bad, and at least it's bringing it into consciousness in an artful way, in an emotional, personal way. I think that's cool.
In the end, Sicario is a great film that received a lot of praise from critics and fans, and is definitely worth checking out. Like what you see? Subscribe to our channel for more exclusive clips.